Latto. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Of course.
So, exactly.
It's a big deal.
It is. So I want to start with you at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how you got your start in music.
Okay, this is kind of funny, so follow me. So my dad is like street dude, into cars, just a lot of people, just knows a lot of people, whatever. So I'm around this like fast lifestyle. And then in school, language arts was always my favorite subject.
Mine too.
Really? Yeah. Smart girl. I just loved wordplay, like metaphors, similes, writing essays and poems. Like that was just so second nature for me. So I had this passion, and then this lifestyle. I'm already growing up around it. They kind of just like combined my two worlds.
Interesting. Oh, that's really cool. So then how did you start breaking onto the scene? Walk me through the steps you took.
So in my household, if you say you want to do something, we doing it full-fledged. Like, it's not a hobby. We prepping for real life. Like, we taking it serious like a career. So when I told my dad that I wanted to rap, from that point forward, I'm doing ciphers, talent shows, open mics, posting like my flyers around the city on stop signs. We printed up my mixtapes and we're passing them out at festivals in Atlanta, selling them in like the Walmart parking lot. I'm getting picked up from school, doing my homework in the studio lobby, and then going to the booth. Like, full-fledged, this is your career now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then I also want to hear about your experience on the reality show, The Rap Game.
Yeah.
You know, what made you want to go on that and take that journey?
Yeah. So everything that I'm talking about as far as like the ciphers and the talent shows and stuff, that was like creating a buzz where I'm from. So then I had like pretty crazy YouTube views, Twitter followers. I think MySpace was at the time too, Facebook friends, whatever. So the people who were doing the Rap Game, the producers of the Rap Game, found me through social media. But social media wouldn't have been a thing if I wasn't putting in that groundwork, like hustling and networking. So they found my social media and they was like, boom, we want to put her on the Rap Game. And then that was like my first launch pad for my career.
And you ended up winning and then actually turned down, I know, which is amazing, but then you turned down the record contract.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind and what were you thinking when that happened?
I can't take all the credit. It was definitely a decision guided by my parents. Thank God I've had my parents in like the early stages of my career to help me make the best decisions. But it was more so just like, you know, this is the first big step in my career. I don't want to rush my process. I was just so young. I was 16 when I did the Rap Game. So like signing a record deal at the time sounded like, You know, I wasn't ready for like the commitment just yet. And I knew I had a lot of work to still be put in. I wanted to go into a situation where I had leverage, you know. With that show, it was more so TV, less like music centered. Yeah, I just wanted, when it felt right, I was going to be ready.
Fair. So talk to me about when it started to feel right. When did you find that leverage and how did that come about?
So I wanted to like find myself as an artist a little more, grow up as a woman too. So I think, you know, just as I grew up over the years, I got my first apartment, had my first boyfriend and, you know, just life things. I had better music to make and just life experiences. So I think after I did Bitch from the South was like my first song that took off. Bitch from the South, and just I had been on some more video shoot sets and just networked a little more, and I was like, okay, I think I'm reaching my capacity as an independent artist. I feel like I need some departments working 24 hours around the clock when I'm not, you know?
Exactly. And this year you were nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys.
Crazy.
Talk to me about, one, how you felt when you first found out you were nominated, and then two, that night. Walk me through it.
Okay, this is so funny. I was asleep. When I found out I was nominated, I was asleep. Everybody was blowing up my phone. I think I had landed like early, like on a red-eye flight early that morning, or I was out late. Something happened that night before. So I was asleep, and I hear my phone ding, 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 ring, 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 ring. I'm like, this better be important. Everybody blowing up my phone. So I finally reach over to look, and I see a whole bunch of like congratulations texts, and then my A&R Derek was calling me at the same time. So when I answered, I'm like, he like, nigga, you got nominated for a Grammy. If you know Derek, then you know. But yeah, and then from that point on, I was literally in and out of tears all day.
Wow.
In and out of tears all day.
Oh my gosh.
That day was just so surreal. Like, I remember going to sleep like, did that really happen today? Like,
And then what was it like when you were there on the day?
Oh my gosh. I really feel like all odds was against me that day. It was so crazy. I had a bad hair malfunction that day. So I was like super late. I had to rush in there. They was literally taking down the red carpet. They was taking it down, like unbuilding it. Like the construction workers have ladders out and they're like, no, we're not taking pictures. I'm like, please, you don't know what I've been through today. I just want to go in. So they let me get my pictures. I'm running in there, and then from that day, from that moment forward, it was like the best day ever. Me and Brooke, my sister Brooke, we was sitting at the table with Fat Joe, DJ Khaled. I met Coco. I was like a table away from Beyonce.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking, but I was
Sure.
I was like, just bring the drinks out. Let's just kick back and relax. Now I had a long day.
What was your like I've made it now moment?
Ooh, I'm so hard on myself. I'm not gonna act like I haven't had those moments, but it's like I still need the reassurance. Definitely being nominated for a Grammy was definitely one of them. Yeah, it's like I in a weird way, I be feeling like I haven't yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like it's so much that I want to do, and I feel like I'm still on the up. I don't think I'm nowhere near my peak. So I think there's a lot more for me to do to feel like I made it. I mean, I bought my mama a car. I bought my sister a car. I've definitely passed out. Probably like 6 cars, something like that. Yeah. So that's where I get my fulfillment from too, just like seeing other people happy. But me personally, I always need like reassurance. Like I need my friends from high school to come around and they be like, "Listen, you doing it big, you doing it big," and I be like, I mean, I guess I kind of am.
Yeah. That's really cool. What was your first big purchase that you made when you knew you made it?
My first big purchase. My first one. Do not do this. Actually, we're going to speak on this. I bought a Bentley truck. Ooh. And that shit was sitting in my driveway for about a good year. Did not move, like tires flat. Don't buy a car. Don't buy a car.
Not worth it?
No, it's not worth it. Like you're gonna think it's old in like a year, and you're just gonna want something else. It's like, yeah, don't even buy a car.
So you mentioned this earlier. You said, social media really helped you blow up, but a lot of your songs go viral on TikTok, on social media. Do you contribute that with the rise of your career and rise of your music?
I would say yes, as far as like the most recent years, but I think the difference between me and a lot of younger artists right now is I caught the tail end of a generation before social media, like strong presence social media. Like I had my MySpace and like my Facebook, and I'm promoting that in like my YouTube channel, but it wasn't like a launch pad, so to say. It was more so like, oh, that's cute. It wasn't such a prominent thing yet. Right. Like I remember physically passing out CDs and like people putting their CDs in my car, like, oh yeah, she hard, like, So I think I have a different type of respect and passion for what I do too, because I caught the tail end of like two very different times.
Right.
But it's the recent years for sure. Social media all day, TikTok, everything gets all the credit for sure.
What is the most challenging part of navigating the music industry for you?
The most challenging part? Trusting my gut. There's a lot of times where it's like, they say it takes a village and it takes a team, and I'm such a firm believer in that. But you can also lose yourself in other people's opinions and having too many cooks in the kitchen. So I think one of the hardest things I had to learn is like balance between trusting myself and taking outside opinions so that I can grow. But at the end of the day, you know yourself and your vision and what you want to be perceived, how you want to be perceived.
What would you say are some of the difficulties of managing, yourself as a brand?
I manage myself currently, so that's a really funny question.
Yeah.
The hardest part, whew, everything is difficult. Waking up early, difficult. Scheduling things, making sure you're allotting self-care, self-time, me time, because you can easily crash out with this industry and just the amount of time it takes. Like a lot of people have work a 9 to 5. This is like a 12 to 12. Yeah. This is sun up to sundown. You cannot clock out. So I think everything about it is difficult, and off camera, that's why I told you, like, I really love what I do. This is so strenuous that I would have been quit if I did not genuinely enjoy it. It's so strenuous and so demanding of your time and energy. It's like I can't even choose the hardest thing.
I'm sure, yeah. Do you ever want to, expand outside of music? Do you have any other business aspirations you're dying to pursue?
Yes, I love music. Don't get me wrong, but I really feel like it's a launch pad. I feel like that's how I got my foot in the door. But as I get older, I really feel my businesswoman senses tingling.
Okay.
I love Riri and everything. Like Riri cut the check for me, so I know she getting checks on checks on checks, And she just I feel like she used her music as a way to get in the door and just build generational wealth from there with her other passions like beauty and clothing, and I definitely see that for myself for sure.
Are you passionate about those same spaces, or is there something else that you're really into?
I'm like low-key a very girly girl, so definitely like beauty. I do my own makeup a lot, so definitely like beauty. Clothing, I love clothes. I like acting. I did my first acting gig this year, and I loved it. So maybe like something with acting. I really love writing, so maybe a book in the future or something like that.
And it's funny you say that, because literally my next question was going to be about you premiering on Grownish earlier this year, which is amazing. Do you see yourself, switching into the acting Hollywood side of things in the future?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I like to have I like the freedom that comes with acting. At least shout out to the team at Grownish. They definitely made my first acting experience very comfortable.
Good.
It seems like, I can pretty much just improvise and kind of like be myself, like stick to the script, but with a little twist. And I like that. It's kind of similar to like the music world. I feel like for the most part, we get to just be ourselves. And I like that in the acting world. It's like, I have this script, but I can kind of put my own twist on this character and like embody the character how I would. Right. So I like the freedom of acting for sure.
Going back to business, is there one business rule that you always operate by no matter what?
I have a few. So anytime I get booked for anything or any money that comes in, I have to profit at least 50%. Definitely taking half of that home. You have a lot of overhead. At least for a woman doing this, lots of overhead. Dancers, makeup, hair, it's so expensive. So definitely we're going to get a number from me every time I'm coming home with this. About 50%. I'm not gonna say like it could be more, it could be less, but like also put them taxes aside. Because you're gonna get across the face like me, and you're gonna be like, what happened? Where'd the money go?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Definitely putting them taxes aside throughout the year and setting a standard for what you want to come home with, because you will see that overhead eat it up, like, or you will know, like, you'll go to the event thinking, oh, I'm coming home with such and such. We going to the club afterwards, and then you look up, you're like, how did I get booked for this and come home with this? Definitely trial and error to learn those type of things.
How do you manage that? Like, just flipping into that business side of the brain, because I know you're a creative.
Yeah. I really wear so many hats that it's just another one of the hats. It's like at this point it's just another one of the hats.
Yeah.
I try to stick to my expertise, which is creative.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna always have my nose in the business, because at the end of the day, that is the goal. Music don't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be this young and fine forever.
Speaking of that, so how do you maintain being yourself, the one off stage, and also dealing with, the public image of you?
I think it's easier for me to deal with it because it's me. Like, I know Alyssa. I think it's harder for other people to understand, because it's like Latto is this personality. Latto is an entertainer. Mm-hmm. Alyssa is who I am. So I wake up and I'm Alyssa. And I think, like, when people meet Alyssa, like Latto off stage, they're like, oh, she's so soft-spoken, or she's so quiet, or she's shy, whatever. And for me, it's like, oh, like, I just know how to turn on the switch, because they are two separate people. I think it's harder for other people to understand that, though.
Going along with that, how do you handle the stress of constantly, marketing yourself? You're kind of your own product.
Mm-hmm. My mind is working around the clock when it comes to, like, me as a product, because at the end of the day, we are products as artists. We are products. My mind is constantly running. Like, I have a notes app in my phone, and it'll say, like, PR ideas, next video ideas, next photo shoot concept ideas. Like, it's constantly running. I just keep, like, my notepad. I jot stuff down. I watch documentaries. I scroll on Pinterest. Even small things like watching a movie can, like, spark interest or spark inspiration for, like, a next marketing idea. But it definitely doesn't stop. Like, constantly thinking of new ways to market myself and just build it bigger than ever.
For sure. Who is your dream collaborator, both in the business world and in the music world?
Business, Riri. Riri. I just feel like she touched our generation in a whole different way. Like, I feel like women like me who might have, like, a little emotion going on, she showed us that it's possible for us to take it to a whole different level. So definitely Riri. Really, music and business. What's up, Riri? Call me, girl.
I would stick around for that collab.
Sure,
to be honest.
For sure. I just feel like I did a song with Mariah Carey. I did a song with Christina Aguilera. It's like I did a song with Lil Wayne. It's so limitless. Like, I don't know. I feel like anything can happen.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
musically.
Speaking of that, what's next for you? Like, what are you most excited for in 2024?
2024, hopefully I'm launching my first business venture in 2024.
Ooh.
Definitely been working on that.
Can you share it, or is it still very secret?
It's one of the things I mentioned.
Okay.
It's one of the things I mentioned.
Right.
So hopefully, fingers crossed on that. My sister has a business. She just opened up her first business. So she has a cosmetic line, Beauty by Brooklyn. I help her behind the scenes with that. Pretty much like the investor, and she makes everything happen. So building that bigger than ever. Hopefully more acting gigs. Definitely want to do some more acting gigs. And I'm excited to see how me managing myself, and I also have a team too, but, like, for the most part, I'm managing myself. Where that takes me, like, me having two hands on the steering wheel, because I started so young. It's like I'm not used to having to say so and just being such a decision maker in my career. It's been fun to, like, see my visions come to life as a kid, and especially coming from a TV show. I feel like there's always been a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I'm the cook in the kitchen. So 2024 should be very inspiring and motivating for me, for Alyssa.
And I hear you have a new album coming out.
I do.
Tell me about that.
Super excited about my next wave of music. I've been, like, very vulnerable lately. So I just have a story to tell that I want to get more in depth on. Like, I think people see me grow up as a kid, but they don't really have the story down packed how I want them to, or just understand my story how I want them to. So this music will be definitely different than what you've heard.
That's awesome. And I'll end this because I think this is a great way to go from here. what would you like your legacy to be?
I think about that all the time. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm like, I think so far ahead. Like, if you ask me, I feel like I got to be prepared to fall off tomorrow. You never know, like to the extreme. But I want my legacy to be something along the lines of just a girl from a small town, Clayton County, who really just knew what she wanted at a young age and made it happen. Never gave up, never took no for an answer. I really just worked long and hard for what I wanted, and it was a lot of blood, sweat, was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Maybe not blood, but sweat and tears for
sure. Oh, well, thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it. And good luck.
Thank you so much.